The sun is more than just a glowing ball in the sky. It's the ultimate multitasker of our solar system. At 865,000 miles wide, it's 109 times the diameter of Earth, and it accounts for a staggering 99.86% of the entire solar system's mass. This fiery ball of plasma is the engine behind our weather, our seasons, and every breath of air we take. Every second, the sun fuses 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium in its core, releasing energy equivalent to 10 billion nuclear bombs. This energy radiates outward as light, heat, and ultraviolet rays, taking roughly 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us. But the sun isn't just a light bulb in the sky. It's a gravitational anchor that keeps every planet, moon, and asteroid locked in its celestial dance. So, let's imagine the unthinkable. What if this cosmic constant disappeared? How would Earth and the rest of the solar system survive the fallout? Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. If the sun were to vanish, the good news, if we can call it that, is that Earth wouldn't know right away. Light from the sun takes over 8 minutes to reach us, so for those 8 minutes and 20 seconds, life would carry on as if nothing had happened. But then, without warning, the lights go out. Daytime would transform into an eternal night. The stars, previously invisible due to the sun's overpowering brightness, would now scatter across the sky in full glory. And the moon? Forget it. It's just a big grey rock without sunlight to reflect. It would fade into the background, as lifeless and invisible as a stone at the bottom of a lake. Imagine stepping outside at noon to a pitch-black sky. It's eerie, disorienting, and downright terrifying. Humans are creatures of rhythm. We rely on the sun to structure our days, guide our schedules, and even regulate our biological clocks. Losing it would plunge the world into chaos, not just practically, but psychologically. It wouldn't just be dark, it would be a profound, unsettling darkness that changes how we view time itself. But darkness isn't our only problem. The sun isn't just a source of light, it's also the gravitational glue that holds our solar system together. Its immense mass, 330,000 times that of Earth, exerts a gravitational pull that keeps planets, moons, and asteroids locked in stable orbits. If the sun disappeared, that pull would vanish instantly. And no, gravity doesn't take 8 minutes to catch up. The planets, which had been obediently orbiting the sun for billions of years, would suddenly break free. Earth, for example, would stop its elliptical orbit and instead shoot off in a straight line, hurtling through space at 67,000 miles per hour. That's roughly 87 times the speed of sound. The same would happen to the rest of the planets. They'd become cosmic drifters, wandering aimlessly through the galaxy. This newfound freedom isn't exactly liberating. Earth would eventually enter interstellar space, where temperatures plummet to near absolute zero. There's also the constant threat of collisions with rogue asteroids, comets, or even other planets. Without the sun, the solar system would devolve into a chaotic, celestial pinball machine. It's a stark reminder of how much we depend on the sun's stabilizing presence. The sun isn't just our light source, it's our heater. Without its warmth, Earth would begin cooling immediately. Within a week, the average global temperature would drop to around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 18 degrees Celsius. That's colder than Antarctica on most winter days. Within a year, the surface temperature would plummet to a bone-chilling minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 73 degrees Celsius. Entire regions would become frozen wastelands. The oceans, which store vast amounts of thermal energy, would begin freezing from the surface. It would take thousands of years for them to freeze solid, thanks to geothermal heat from Earth's core. But the surface of the planet would become inhospitable long before that. Imagine Antarctica, but everywhere. Glaciers would cover continents, and the few remaining forms of life would retreat to geothermal hotspots or deep underground. Without the sun, Earth would no longer be the vibrant blue planet we know. It would be a lifeless, frozen rock, hurtling through space. Let's zoom in on biology. Life on Earth is powered by photosynthesis, the process by which plants convert sunlight into energy. Without sunlight, photosynthesis stops. Plants would begin dying within days, starting with grasses and smaller species. Forests would take a bit longer, but eventually even the sturdiest trees would succumb. Without plants, herbivores would have nothing to eat, and carnivores wouldn't be far behind. In the oceans, plankton, tiny organisms that produce over 50% of Earth's oxygen, would stop functioning. Oxygen levels in the atmosphere would start to decline, and within decades, breathable air would become a luxury. Earth's ecosystems are intricate, interconnected webs. Removing the sun is like pulling the keystone out of an arch. Everything collapses. The planet would go silent, a once thriving biosphere reduced to a barren, frozen wasteland. What about us? Humans have a knack for survival. If the sun vanished, governments and scientists would likely establish underground bunkers powered by geothermal energy. These bunkers could house artificial lighting systems to grow crops hydroponically and provide shelter for a small percentage of the population. population. But let's not sugarcoat it. This would be survival in the most basic sense. Outside these shelters, Earth would be uninhabitable. Even with the best technology, living without the sun would mean constant challenges, dwindling resources, social tension, and psychological strain. Humanity might persist for a while, but thriving? That's a different story. Let's address the big question. Could the sun actually vanish? The answer is no. Scientifically, the sun is a stable main sequence star. It burns hydrogen through nuclear fusion, and it has enough fuel to last another 5 billion years. When the sun does reach the end of its life, it won't disappear. Instead, it will expand into a red giant, swallowing Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. After shedding its outer layers, it will shrink into a white dwarf, a faint remnant of its former self. The only way the sun could vanish instantly involves speculative physics, like a tear in space-time or advanced alien intervention. But these scenarios are firmly in the realm of science fiction. Rest easy, our sun isn't going anywhere. This thought experiment is a sobering reminder of how deeply life on Earth depends on the sun. It's not just a glowing orb in the sky, it's the foundation of everything we know. So next time you feel the sun's warmth on your face, take a moment to appreciate it. Without it, we wouldn't just be cold, we wouldn't exist. Thanks for watching Hypothetical World. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay curious.